The following is a presentation of 912 Sports. Welcome to On Air with 912 Sports, your number one source for high school sports. With Sean Smoke, Kevin Price, and Robbie Ross. On Air with 912 Sports is brought to you by Coastal Pines Technical College. Go Coastal. Prime South Bank. Find your prime. Robbie Robertson Ford, because Fords are cheaper in the swamp. Gibson Animal Clinic, practical solutions with limited fees. Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, the region's best orthopedic care. And Kim Smoke, licensed realtor with Crossway Realty.
High schoolers, did you know that you can get a head start on your college career and save money at the same time through dual enrollment at Coastal Pines Technical College? Dual enrollment is open to high school juniors and seniors, tuition free. Talk to your high school counselor or visit coastalpines.edu for more information. Coastal Pines Technical College, an equal opportunity institution. Go Coastal.
It makes sense Prime South Bank would have a great mobile app. Nobody is as mobile as our customers. For a century, they've chased dreams, followed their hearts, took the road less taken, made a new path, taken leaps of faith. At Prime South, offering the latest digital banking, secure pay apps, and new online lending is part of a mobile tradition that goes way back. Life is mobile. So is Prime South. Find your Prime. Member FDIC.
Hello everybody, I'm Kevin Price for On Air with 912 Sports and also Golden Isles Baseball. Here this spring, I'll have the opportunity to call Brunswick High and Glen Academy baseball games for Golden Isles Baseball on 912sports.net. Recently, I had the chance to sit down with the head coaches at both teams to talk about their teams for the upcoming season. We'll start with BHS head coach Greg Roberts. Here's what he had to say about the Pirates as he gets set to enter year 2 of his regime over at BHS. All right, so we're here with Coach Roberts. He's getting ready to hit the practice field with the Pirates, getting ready for their season opener. And, Coach, this is year number 2 for you over here at Brunswick High School. Just kind of tell us, I would assume things are in a lot better shape in terms of the kids knowing you and you knowing the kids than they were this time last year.
Yeah, the news kind of wore off. Definitely things are understood better. Our practices are going a little more smooth. Day-to-day operations, I mean, after coming out of COVID, very little fall last year, hardly any summer. Into a full year, things are a lot more understood.
And, of course, y'all played a scrimmage game. You're getting set to go into the season this coming week, obviously, with a game against Ware County and then a game against North Forsyth and on Friday night in baseball at the beach. And you also play a game Saturday as well. But just talk about your club and maybe how much better, hopefully, you think you can be this year in year number 2.
Well, I mean, I like this group. We're still trying to figure out a lot of pieces and where guys are going to go. Hopefully soon enough we'll get some pieces that we haven't had that we feel like are going to be big pieces for us that really don't, without having them here, we're really not sure about some places that certain guys are going to play. Like where we're at pitching staff-wise. We got 5 or 6, even 7 guys we feel comfortable sending to the mound right now. We really don't have an idea of who's going to be in what role and what times they're going to come in, and that's the good piece of having these games before regional time starts. Really getting forward to getting ready to put them out there in some live game situations. Even though Long County was a scrimmage, we sent 5 guys to the mound, 16 guys to the plate. We rotated a lot of guys defensively. Still trying to get a feel for our team and where everyone plugs in. I like our outfield play. a lot better than where we were at last year. We're thinner in some places on the infield, but we've got a lot of returners that have a lot of varsity time in that infield that I hope to solidify some of the lack of time that we've had there. Hopefully, offensively, we can do a little better job. We struggled at times scoring runs. We felt like we were awful at some of the little things that I've hung my hat on in years as a head coach, as far as bunting, hitting, running, moving runners. We didn't do a good job at all of that last year. We spent a lot of time in our 4-on-1 sessions and hitting sessions, even practice time, really working on getting better at those things. I feel like there was a lot of games we could have won or could have been closer in ball games if we could have done a few of those things better. But I feel like where we're at right now, we're in a good place and we're ready to see somebody else.
And Coach, let's obviously get some names thrown out there, and let's start on the mound, I guess, where it all starts. And I guess therefore it starts with the big right-hander Chamberlain Dent.
Yeah, Chamberlain comes back from last year as one of, if not our most consistent guy with obviously Isaiah Wilman leaving. Chamberlain pitched every region game down the stretch for us, and we had a chance to be in every game that he threw for us, and we're hoping we get the same effort from him. We really did a poor job of supporting him offensively last year. His ERA was phenomenal, but his win-loss record was bad, mostly because of us on our end offensively, and at times we made some bonehead things defensively behind him as well. But he's going to give us a chance to win. Chamberlain is getting back to feeling comfortable after playing football this year in a long football season with Coach Penn and the Pirates. He's getting comfortable and finding himself on the mound right now. Riley Morgan, coming back from last year, pitched a lot of varsity innings. Kyle O'Deese as well. Jonathan Landers. Excited to see Elijah Wellman when they're done with basketball. Caden Purvis didn't get to throw a lot for us last year. A big lefty. We got a lot of high expectations of him. Hunter Bratcher's done a phenomenal job throughout our scrimmages. We're very happy with where we're at with those guys on the mound right now.
And Coach, you mentioned Kyle O'Deese, obviously a senior headed to Augusta State. Talk about what he brings to your team in terms of leadership, but also with his glove and also with his bat.
I feel like Kyle's one of the best players in this league. He's really worked extremely hard to gain weight, to become stronger, to become faster. Defensively, he's one of the best I've had defensively in that spot. And I've had some really, really good shortstops, and Kyle stacks up there with those guys. In the weight room, you can walk in there, during the last block of the day, and Kyle's got his earbuds in, and he's not doing a lot of talking. He's in there working his tail off, and you got a lot of other guys kind of walking around chit-chatting while they're doing it. Kyle's usually not that guy. He's in there really getting after it, trying to make himself better. He's worked really hard to improve offensively. He's hit some balls really hard in our scrimmages, also obviously every night at practice. He knows where to go. He knows where to be. He's kind of our catalyst right now. He's going to hit in the top of the lineup, and hopefully as he goes, we go.
And Coach, obviously you mentioned scrimmages. You had a scrimmage against Long County. I guess when it comes to offense, anybody else in particular stand out in terms of really putting the ball in play and really hitting it, swinging the bat pretty good right now?
Yeah, we got a few guys up and down the lineup. I mean, first night jitters, I feel like we took some really good hacks. I mean, Riley Morgan, he kind of hit in the 2-hole. Took some really good swings, just didn't square any balls up. Matthew Neal's kind of in that mix as well. Isaiah Brada was at the top. He had 2 big swings in some deep counts. We swung and missed a lot, but we were swinging a lot of fastballs. Early in the game, I felt like Long County's guys did a really good job keeping us off balance. They kind of got a little sporadic on the mound and kind of let things get away from them at times. So I can't say we got a lot of really good looks. It's really hard to tell. We're seeing our own guys here, and we feel like our guys are going to give us a chance to win each night we go out there. So our hitters have kind of been frustrated at times, and I'm hoping it's because our pitching is a lot better than our hitting is right now. And lots of times this time of the year, I hope and I'm happy that our hitters aren't annihilating our pitching performances, because if that's the case, either we're really bad on that end or we're really good offensively. And I think our pitching is right now just a little bit ahead of our offensive stuff. So.
And Coach, in this region, it's going to be tough to win games night in and night out in those 3-game series. And I know, you had a couple that maybe slipped away from you last year, and maybe it's a different season, and you make the playoffs if that doesn't happen. But I know this year the goal is going to be to crack that top 4, and really whoever's number 4 is going to be probably a pretty good number 4 seed. But just talk about the region and what you guys and the other teams around the 912 area code face in this league when region play starts.
Yeah, our top 2 teams from last year, South Effingham and Richmond Hill, they bring back a lot of guys. They bring back probably as many as anybody else as far as on-field experience, I feel like. So, those 2 guys were at the top last year, kind of fighting out the last series of the year. Kind of expect those guys to be right back in the same place. And we got some really good coaches in this league. We got some really good players in this league. It's very tough. It's fun. It's fun to compete in night in and night out. Glenn lost some key pieces, but they got a lot of guys coming back as well from last year's team. We're kind of in the same boat. Statesboro is Statesboro. They lost 2 big guys in the heart of their lineup that I felt like may have been the 2 best in our league back-to-back hitters. Or those 2 lefties that they had that could really hurt you at any point. I mean, those two guys have gone on. How they fill those spots, I don't know, but a lot of their stuff comes back from last year. Effingham, new coach. I've become fond of that guy there. He does a phenomenal job as a baseball guy. So to see some things there be different. Also, the turn of Richmond Hill, kind of a new guy leading their ship as well. So there's some uncertainties. John and Glenn. We got 3 guys really that with some changes and new programs. So we there's not a lot of us been in this program in this league that have been in the situation we're in right now more than just a couple of years. So there's a lot of new guys in head coaching spots in the league. So it's gonna be fun.
All right, good stuff, Coach. Well, we look forward here at 912, and certainly look forward to seeing the Pirates on Golden Isles baseball this year.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Coach. All right, thanks to Coach Roberts for sitting down and talking BHS baseball with us. Here in a moment, we'll be back with Glenn Academy's first-year head baseball coach, John Welborn, to talk about the Red Terrors and what we can expect to see from Glenn Academy on the ball diamond in 2022. But we'll take a break and come back with Coach Welborn. You're watching On Air with 912 Sports.
Play it loud and rev it up. Robbie Robertson's got trucks built for tough.
Make your way to Robbie Robertson Ford in Waycross, where the deals are bigger than ever. Looking for a stylish midsize car, a spacious SUV, or a truck that performs at work and play? Robbie Robertson wants your vehicle and is paying top dollar. Now is the time to buy. Fords are cheaper in the swamp.
Gibson Animal Clinic is ready to help with your animals. From cats to dogs to horses, we treat them all. Call on us for grooming, bathing, boarding, and more serious things like surgery, dentistry, spay, neuter, immunizations, heartworm prevention, flea control, complete lab testing, radiology, preventive health care. Call us at 285-7678. Open Saturdays for your convenience. Gibson Animal Clinic. Practical solutions with reasonable fees. Russell J. Gibson, DVM.
Gibson Animal Clinic, 108 Riverside Drive, Waycross.
Hablamos español en nuestra clínica.
All right, thanks to Coach Roberts for his time. Now let's go over to the south side of town where I had the opportunity to talk with Glenn's new head baseball coach, John Welborn. Here's what he had to say as the Red Terrors get set for the spring of 2022 on the baseball diamond. All right, so we're here with Glenn Academy's new head baseball coach, John Welborn. Of course, he's a familiar face. He was on the staff last year under Coach Magero when Glenn Academy went all the way to the Elite Eight in Class 6A. Now Coach Welborn takes over. Some new faces, some familiar faces back with this Glenn team. But, Coach, I guess let's start from the top. I mean, how's the transition been from you to, or from Coach Magero to you throughout the summer, the fall, and now here already getting ready to go into the season?
The transition's been pretty seamless. Coach Magero did a great job of building the program up, and we're just continuing to build on that foundation. A couple of things that we've kind of incorporated a little more is to make everything more competitive in practice. We added in some other formats for practice to where we're always competing. And one thing that I stress to my guys is that we're not good enough to play without intensity. And so every day we show up, we want to compete, and we want to bring that intensity. And with that, we have the ability to play with anybody we want to.
And of course, last year you guys had a good program in place, kind of took it up a notch coming off the COVID year, went all the way to the Elite Eight. Really had a chance to win the region all the way down to the wire, and of course ended up finishing second in a real competitive region. But as you kind of get ready to go into your first year, is it really kind of the momentum's there, just looking to kind of continue to strive to go higher?
Yeah, the goal is to continue to do what we've been doing and to press on and move forward and to win the region. It's going to be tough, but that's the goal. And I think we have some quality leadership. We have some good seniors coming back, and we got some young guys who are really showing up and really fighting for a role on this team.
Well, talk about that, Coach. I know you lost some really good seniors, some guy that gave you a lot of firepower, whether it was pitching or hitting, that kind of led the way for you last year. Seniors are always important, but just talk about some of the guys you've got coming back and some of the new faces that we might look for as we look at this 2022 Glen team.
All right, so I'll just kind of go around the field a little bit. On the mound, we got Tom Eccles coming back. He's done a great job. Good leader for us. Aiden Buning, another senior who has really came into his own and physically gotten bigger and better on the mound, and he's going to be a big help for us. A new kid moved in from Alaska, Luke Barch. Looks phenomenal on the mound. He's really done a good job of competing, and you can't have too many competitors on your team. Another one is lefty Carson Rotola. He's a freshman, big kid. He's going to be a really good player for us in some capacity. Behind the plate, we have Jackson Buffkin. He's back again. One of the best defensive catchers I've had the privilege to coach, and he does a phenomenal job. And over the past 365 days, mentally, his knowledge for the game has really improved, and he's really getting after it, and he's a good leader on this team. You also have Hugh Edgy, Barch, and Trent Tankersley, who also all catch and are really pushing the envelope and have some chance to play behind the plate. Moving around the infield, at first base we have Tom Eccles, Spence Hartman, both two seniors, both quality players. Hugh Edgy is another one that could catch or play first base. At second base we have Jacob Mansell and Brandon Casper. Both do a lot of things well, and they're really battling right now for a job. Shortstop we have Gus Gandy, and backing him up is Rooker Hobby. Rooker's another kid on the mound who is probably one of our top 4 guys, and we're looking forward to having him out there. Third base we got Trent Tankersley with sophomores, and another kid that's really stood out to me, and I'm impressed with what he's done. We have a senior in Jack Anderson who swings the bat really well, and he's defensively improved over the last year. And then Hank Noonan. Hank Noonan's going to be a guy who's going to play some outfield, but can play some third, kind of a utility guy. In the outfield, we got Ty Devlin back, another first team all-region player. So he played some center field last year, going to play right this year. Behind him is a sophomore, Grayson Gegg, who I think has a great swing, has a lot of upside. At center field, we got John Wise Long. Behind him right now is Louis Lucioni, and defensively he's a good player. His bat's starting to come around, and he's actually helped us on the mound some too, so that's a plus. And then besides Hank being in left, we also have Drew Coleman, a senior this year, who could potentially help us on the mound as well.
And Coach, I know you really didn't mention a whole lot about John Wise Long, kind of because he's a staple for you.
Right.
But he didn't play last year, had to have Tommy John surgery. Just talk about the way he's come back and what he could really mean to this team as a hitter and a fielder, and hopefully maybe pitching. We'll just see how that goes.
Yeah, so his tools are all there, and he's a phenomenal player. And once he puts it all together and he gets some more at-bats under his belt, I think he's going to be a tremendous help for this team. But just from a leadership standpoint and a work ethic, throughout the injury, he never wavered. He showed up and he worked hard, and he continues to work hard every day.
And Coach, talk about offensively. I mean, y'all are really just going to kind of go with the flow, so to speak. I mean, like you said, we talked off there, if y'all were banging the ball all over the place, y'all are going to sit back and bang it. If you got to manufacture runs, you'll play small ball, run the bases, put pressure on opponents. just kind of talk about some of the things you would like to do offensively in a perfect world.
Yeah, I mean, in a perfect world, we'd like to go out there and just bang the ball all over the yard, but sometimes that don't happen. But we'll play the hot hand, see what happens. But offensively, we're going to put pressure on you and make you make plays.
And I guess defensively, I know from talking to you, you feel like you're pretty sound infield and outfield. I guess the real key could be, again, pitching, who steps up for you in those top couple of spots and who you can go to in relief over a course of a long season, particularly if you guys were to make another playoff run.
Yeah, I think you're right. It all comes down to who those guys on the mound are and if they're going to step up, because defensively we're pretty sound fundamentally, and if we can just throw the ball over the plate and let them put it in play, I think we're going to make the plays behind them.
And Coach, I know I'm looking forward to the region. A lot of good opponents, of course, that we'll see around the 912 area code, which we cover. But right here in this region, some of the best baseball teams in Southeast Georgia. Only 4 teams can make the playoffs. Even the number 4 seed could be a dandy to give a number 1 seed a really tough time. Of course, you guys went all the way to the Elite 8 as the number 2 seed last year. South Effingham ended up winning the region. They made a run. Just talk about the teams in this region and how it's going to just be a dogfight night in and night out.
Yeah, I think Richmond Hill probably has the best pitching staff in the region. They're going to be coached well. They're going to play hard. They bring a lot of energy. South Effingham pretty much returns everybody. They have a phenomenal coach. They play the game the right way. They play hard. Those two will definitely be, 2 of the top best teams. Then you have Effingham. They have a great coach in Shane Ramsey that I know is going to have those guys ready. He's won a state title before, so he knows what it takes. And I think Brunswick across the street, I think Greg does a great job, and I think they're going to be better than advertised. Statesboro will probably be Statesboro. And last year, I felt like they had the best hitting team in our region, and they graduated a lot of those guys. But they tend to turn over players, and we'll bring some other guys out and be back to being who they are. So like you said, I think that anybody could win the region, and I think the 4 seed could also be a team that makes some noise in the playoffs.
Well, Coach, obviously we know you from being here in the past, and look forward to working with you and all this Glen Academy bunch as we go through the season here on 912 Sports and Golden Isles Baseball.
Thank you. Go Terrace.
At Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, you don't have to be an athlete to get the region's best orthopedic care. Our board-certified orthopedic surgeons and physicians treat injuries and conditions that affect just about any joint or bone in your body. Plus, we're backed by the support of Southeast Georgia Health System. From fracture repair to joint replacement, Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery will get you moving again. Call 1-855-ASK-SGHS. That's 1-855-275-7447 or visit sghs.org/summit.
This is Kevin Price reporting for On Air with 912 Sports. The Brunswick High Dugout Club held its second Oyster Roast and Reverse raffle last Thursday night to raise money for the BHS program going into the 2022 season. The event was held at Skipper's Fish Camp in Darien. Skipper's manager Andy Morse, a BHS alum and former player himself, treated Pirate Nation to some great food and drinks and lots of fun and fellowship in a fabulous outdoors area that provides the perfect atmosphere for this type of event, which attracted upward of 400 people who turned out in support of the Pirates. Of course, the event centered around the raffle, which included all those who purchased a ticket for the night. The raffle opened with all 400-plus names in the mix for the cash prize, and throughout the evening, names were eliminated from the competition through several drawings. At the end, the final 5 left all agreed to split the jackpot and not press their luck any further. Among the final 5 winners were former BHS standout Howard Cox and Brunswick High graduate and athletic supporter Clinton Miller. 912 Sports saw Miller, who owns Miller Construction, give his winnings back to the BHS baseball program while also signing up to sponsor Golden Isles Baseball on 912sports.net before the end of the night. All proceeds from the event go to help the Pirates fund their baseball program. BHS head coach Greg Roberts said the event was again a huge success, while adding that the Pirates appreciate the community's support and the work by all parties to put together a great event to benefit the BHS program.
High schoolers, did you know that you can get a head start on your college career and save money at the same time through dual enrollment at Coastal Pines Technical College? Dual enrollment is open to high school juniors and seniors, tuition free. Talk to your high school counselor or visit coastalpines.edu for more information. Coastal Pines Technical College, an equal opportunity institution. Go Coastal!
It makes sense Prime South Bank would have a great mobile app. Nobody is as mobile as our customers. For a century, they've chased dreams, followed their hearts, took the road less taken, made a new path, taken leaps of faith. At Prime South, offering the latest digital banking, secure pay apps, and new online lending is part of a mobile tradition that goes way back. Life is mobile. So is Prime South. Find your Prime. Member FDIC.
Welcome, sports fans, and thanks for watching On Air with 912 Sports. I'm Sean Smoke, publisher of 912 Sports, and I'm joined here by the president of the Miracle League of the Okefenokee to talk to us a little bit about the Miracle League and what it's all about. This is Barry Tanner, and he's the president. Barry, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm good, Sean. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, Barry, appreciate you doing the show, man. And let's talk a little bit about the Miracle League, Barry. Talk a little bit about what your guys' mission statement is. I know y'all got a little tagline that you like to use, but tell everybody that doesn't know what the Miracle League is all about.
Sean, thank you. Yeah, I'd love to talk about the Miracle League. The Miracle League's tagline for the Miracle League of the Okefenokee is that every child and adult deserves a chance to play baseball, simply put. And we've been doing that in Ware County for the past 18 years or so, and that's given them a chance to play baseball in town. And right now we're trying to make it so that we can have games a little more consistently and kind of get the weather out of the deal. So our players look forward to these games like nobody's business. We can tell you story after story of kids and adults both getting ready the night before, waking up the next morning, being so excited, telling their parents or caregiver, whatever, today's Miracle League day. I've got my daughter at the house, says exactly that every Miracle League game day. They get really excited about it. And what we're trying to eliminate going forward is those rainouts or possible rainouts and even wet days. When you're pushing wheelchairs around on a baseball diamond, you all that know, it doesn't work. Whether it's sprinkled the day of or rain the day before, it just doesn't work. So for a rainout to happen to us about 20% of the time on average, and you're talking about out of 20 games per year, it's just heartbreaking. We're trying to fix it, and we're going to fix it. And thanks to Sean and folks like Sean helping us get the word out. We want these kids and adults in our community, in our area. And actually it's Ware County, Pierce County, the surrounding area, Charlton County. We have Brantley County players. We have some from Clinch County. Whoever wants to play, Brantley County is a big participant. We want all those kids and adults that want to play ball to have a chance to play ball. And that's what we're trying to do here. And it's been successful, but we want to take it to the other end of the spectrum and build them a field that will not be something that we have to call out rainouts way too many times.
Exactly. Well, Barry, let's talk about how people can become involved, because you can become involved as an individual, as a group, or as a corporate sponsor. Let's talk about those three different levels of how people can be involved with the Miracle League.
Yeah, Sean, a great point. And I became involved this way, so I'll just tell you, we became involved. My son and I went out when he was a middle school baseball player back in the 90s and volunteered as a buddy is what we call it. And every player has a buddy assigned to them when they play. So their buddies are simply volunteers from the community that have the heart and the will to come out and spend a couple hours, and a couple hours plus maybe sometimes, but to be buddies and be partners with these particular players and help them get to the plate, help them hit the ball, help them run to the base, and then when they get off the field from their offense, to turn around and play defense and basically protect them or help them field the ball. So that's what a buddy does. If you're looking for a couple hours worth of pure joy, join us as a buddy. I'm telling you, it works to the nth degree. We have nothing but blessings from it, and we'd love to have you or your small group, or a big group for that matter, because there are plenty of opportunities throughout the year for that to happen. And then we have also a need for some funding. We've got a project going on right now where we're going to resurface this field at the rec department is the plan, so that we will make it all accessible and make it more accessible. And that's a big project, but we need some corporate sponsors, we need some individual sponsors, we need some financial help to make that happen. The cool part is we're only $95,000 away from a $375,000 goal, thank the Lord, and we're going to get there too. But if you feel led to do that or know somebody that could help us with that, we'd really appreciate it. And we've got volunteer coaches spots available. We have coaches already in place, but some of us are older coaches and would love some relief there, so we could spend some time with some of the other players. So we have opportunities for coaches also, and we also have opportunities for folks to just come out and help, period. You don't have to be on the field. The most important part to these players are people in the stands. There's nothing that gets them going more and makes them smile more than hearing people cheer for them when we call out their name to come back.
Right. And you guys have 2 seasons. You got a spring season and a fall season. Talk a little bit about each one of those.
Yeah, Sean, historically we've had both seasons, and we're going to have both going forward. This year we're going to do a little bit different with the February the 18th kickoff at Memorial Stadium, which is going to be a fantastic event, something new and exciting for us. And then we're going to pause a little bit and go March the 18th and have the same kind of kickoff special over at Bear Stadium in Pierce County. And then from there, we're going to segue right into our regular season, which will be 6 or 7 regular weekly scheduled games that we play on Friday nights in the spring. And then we turn around and do the same thing in the fall, beginning mid-August, I think it is. We'll play 7 or 8 games during that time. And it works out really good during this. We try to work around football and things that are taking people away. So Friday nights in the spring, and then Saturday mornings, we're going to work to do that this year going forward on Saturdays, so people can come out and have their players come out and you can support us.
Right. And if people want more information on the Miracle League of the Okefenokee, what's the best way for them to get that information, Barry?
Yeah, thanks for asking. We've got a Facebook page, so you can just type in Miracle League of the Okefenokee and it'll get you there. And then we've got a website that's miracleleagueokefenokee.com, so all spelled out, miracleleagueokefenokee.com. And there's information on both of those places and sites that can help you further be involved. But we'd love to have you. Appreciate your support, and thank you for listening.
Right. Absolutely. Well, you've got, like I said, there's 3 ways we can get involved: individuals, groups, and we're talking to you church groups. We're talking to you clubs at the high school, anything like that. Get a couple buddies to come on out and volunteer, and then of course the corporate sponsorships are going to be huge. But Barry, we touched on it a little bit. Got a huge an event coming up this Friday, the 18th at Memorial Stadium. Tell our viewers a little bit about that big event that you guys got coming up.
So really excited about it. We know that it's going to be as exciting as anything for our players, which is our number one purpose, to give them a chance to go to Memorial Stadium and act like a football player and be a star for Friday night and have the lights shining and the cheerleaders cheering and the players. We're going to have some football players out there being buddies. We're going to have some Ware County coaches being buddies and helping us there, but we're going to have national anthem song. We're going to have the JROTC presenting the colors. We're going to make it just as close as we possibly can to a Friday night at Ware County Stadium for our own Ware County Gators. So we want it to be an exciting time for the players, number one. We hope it's going to be free to the public. We invite you to come out. As we've been trying to raise money for this field, we hear all over the place that people don't know we're here, so we want people to come out and enjoy it and cheer on these players. Like I said earlier, there's nothing that gets them going more than to hear their name on the loudspeaker. In this case, we're going to put their picture on the big scoreboard, and then to hear from you, the fans, to encourage them. They would love it, and I promise you'll have a night of smiles from the time you get there to the time you leave. So we're looking forward to that for those reasons. Excited.
Yeah, we're looking forward to Friday night. It's Friday Night Lights with the Miracle League of Okefenokee, baseball that will make you smile. Barry, we appreciate your time today, buddy, and look forward to seeing you on Friday the 18th.
Thank you, Sean.
All right.
Play it loud and rev it up. Robbie Robinson's got trucks built for tough.
Make your way to Robbie Robertson Ford in Waycross, where the deals are bigger than ever. Looking for a stylish midsize car, a spacious SUV, or a truck that performs at work and play? Robbie Robertson wants your vehicle and is paying top dollar. Now is the time to buy. Fords are cheaper in the swamp.
Gibson Animal Clinic is ready to help with your animals. From cats to dogs to horses, we treat them all. Call on us for grooming, bathing, boarding, and more serious things like surgery, dentistry, spay, neuter, immunizations, heartworm prevention, flea control, complete lab testing, radiology, preventive health care. Call us at 285-7678. Open Saturdays for your convenience. Gibson Animal Clinic. Practical solutions with reasonable fees. Russell J. Gibson, DVM.
Gibson Animal Clinic, 108 Riverside Drive, Waycross.
Hablamos español en nuestra clínica.
Welcome, sports fans, and thanks for watching On Air with 912 Sports. I'm Sean Smoke, publisher of 912 Sports, joined as always by head writer and podcast host Kevin Price. Kevin, how you doing today, buddy?
Good, Sean. Good to be with you again. We've talked about it for a couple of weeks now. It's a crossover season where the winter sports meet the spring sports, and some days it's a little cold outside, some days it's a little warmer, and that's kind of typical this time of year, just depending on what way the wind's blowing, I guess. But big week for us this week all around the 912 area code with a lot of sports to talk about. And we're really going to kind of cover the gamut right here. So let's dive in.
Yeah, but before we do that, Kevin, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention congratulations to Ernest Jones, the former Ware County linebacker, former South Carolina Gamecock, right here from the 912 area code. Ernest with a big Super Bowl victory there Sunday with the Los Angeles Rams. Kevin, in a great game, came right down to the wire, wasn't over until the very final minute of the ball game. But Ernest had a huge day, 7 tackles on the day, 6 solos, 1 quarterback sack, also 2 tackle for losses, and a blocked pass, or pass deflections, what they have it down in the stats, and he hit the quarterback 3 times. So a huge day for the rookie. And Kevin, there's guys that's played this league for 15, 20 years, never get a chance to play in a Super Bowl, and here Ernest is, his first rookie season, and he's going to get to put a ring on his finger.
Yeah, for sure. And not only did he get to play, I mean, he made a huge impact. I mean, he stuffed the stat sheet, if you can say that for a football player. I mean, just great all-around impressive stats. And we've talked about him before, even before he made the Super Bowl, I guess back when he played for South Carolina. But that guy just looks good in the uniform, doesn't he? He looks like a football player. Tall, lanky, lean, strong. He just looks good in the uniform, and he lived up to the way he looks last night. Playing, really good for the Rams and making some good, impactful plays. And I know they're glad that he was healthy, and they're glad to probably have him in the mix for maybe a good while to come.
Yeah, exactly. So congratulations to Ernest Jones, Super Bowl champion. But we'll move on to the Miracle League. You saw the piece on it earlier in the show tonight. Make your plans now to get out to Memorial Stadium on Friday night. Big game's going to be going on, and nothing makes these players happier than having a stands, packed full of people. So if you're looking for something to do this Friday night, the 18th, head on over to Memorial Stadium and check out the Miracle League action there under the Friday night lights. And Kevin, we got a big under the kind of lights coming up Saturday as the Glenn County. They're going to be hosting a big parade for the national championship Georgia Bulldogs. One Warren McClendon, who played at Brunswick, and the other Jack Podlesny, who is the kicker for Georgia, who played at Glenn Academy. So going to be a big parade over there. 912 Sports is going to participate in the parade, so we're really excited about that, to be a part of it. But that's going to kick off Saturday at 11 a.m. there in downtown Brunswick.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. I mean, obviously this is Bulldog country. A good big part of Bulldog Nation is right here in southeast Georgia, and certainly in the Golden Isles. It's a haven every year for the Georgia-Florida game, and it's always a lot of fun. So I expect that our community will turn out in droves, and hopefully some other people from around southeast Georgia, the 912 area code, will come on to the Golden Isles and enjoy the day with us. I mean, it's not just necessarily Glenn Academy and Brunswick High people and people that live in Glenn County. I mean, we're not going to close the borders to the county. We're going to let everybody come in. So, at least to a certain extent, we'll see. If we get that many, then we'll have to see what happens. But I know, I went to the Stetson Bennett deal over there, the Pierce County Parade of Champions, where they also honored, some of their other champions from the schools and whatnot.
in that parade. But of course, Stetson was the main attraction, held a press conference and all that. And some other people from other towns did come, and it was a great Sunday afternoon. The sun was shining, a lot of red and black, a lot of that Pierce County blue and silver. So it was a great festive day over there in Bearville. And I don't know if we want to call this Terror Town or Pirate Nation, but it is going to be down on Gloucester Street, the old parade route that we used to use back in the day for homecoming parades and the spring fiesta that we used to have. It will start at Howard Coffin Park, which is right there at the foot of the Sittlinger Bridge, and go down Gloucester all the way to the waterfront. So if somebody's seated anywhere or sitting on their tailgate of their truck anywhere on Gloucester Street, the parade should come by you. And again, hopefully we're going to have some good weather and just a lot of red and black, a lot of blue and gold, a lot of red and white, maybe a little Glen Academy black mixed in there as well. Had to get that in, Sean. And
good for you, Rock.
And some green and black 912, and it's just going to be a fun day. And we'll celebrate our kids that played a part in that national championship. And also, let me point out, I think there's about 6 or 7 members of the Red Coat Band who are from Glenn County, from what I understand. We talked to Steve Waters Friday night at our basketball game between Glenn and Brunswick, a little bit about everything, and including the parade. And I think that's the number he mentioned, about 6 or 7. And I think he has some other special guests that he's working on that we did not know about last Friday night. We'll certainly know about come tomorrow or Saturday. Sometimes it's last minute with those kinds of things, and who can be available and make themselves available. So might be a few surprises as well, but should be fun nonetheless.
Yeah, it's going to be a great day there. There's tons of Georgia Bulldog fans here in the 912, and I'm sure they'll turn out there on Saturday. But, Kevin, a lot of great things going on. One of the big things that you and I are fixing to get deeply involved in, switching over to that spring sport, is baseball broadcast. We'll have the Gators baseball on 912sports.net, also Golden Isles baseball on 912sports.net. You guys got a game Friday and Saturday. We got a game Friday and Saturday. Friday's looking kind of iffy right now. Saturday looks pretty good. So tune in to 912sports.net. You can check out all the action for both programs there. It's real easy. You can click it on your phone, click it on your computer, listen to it anywhere around the world. So like I said, you got friends or family or people that's moved away that want to follow the program, all they got to do is tune in to 912sports.net, click the broadcast tab, and then click whichever broadcast you want to hear, whether it be Golden Isles baseball or Gator baseball. So looking for a really good season, because I think, Kevin, really all 3 of the teams that we cover is going to have a good chance to be really good this year.
Yeah, obviously Ware County coming off that great run last year and looking to be right there in the thick of things in 5A. And, Glen Academy had the big run in Class 6A last year out of Region 2, battle for the region championship all the way to the end. Unfortunately, settled for the 2nd seed, but still made that run all the way to the Elite 8. And I tell you what, Sean, I was doing a couple of preview stories on the teams that I wrote for GCS Athletics. And when you look at Region 2 6A, it's loaded. We knew it was. But if you just look at the rankings, South Effingham, the defending region champion, is ranked 5th. I think Richmond Hill getting a lot of respect with some great pitching, ranked 6th. Glenn getting votes for the top 10. This was the Georgia Dugout Club poll, by the way. So that's 3 teams right there in the mix for the top 10. And then Statesboro is going to be tough. Effingham's got a veteran coach. They're going to be good. Brunswick looking to, be even better than they were last year and maybe get into that top 4. So it's going to be a dogfight in Region 2 6A. We're going to be right there with Glenn and Brunswick to check it all out. And, baseball season's fun. The weather could be cool at this time of year. It could be hot later in the year. You get the sand gnats and all that kind of good stuff, particularly here in Glenn County. I assume they're bad over there in the swamp at times.
Not near as bad as you got them.
Yeah. I mean, Edo Miller Park back in the day, probably one of the worst places in South Georgia for sand gnats, but certainly, here in Glenn County. But I tell you what, even though I love Adam Wainwright Field, they've got a gnat problem there. Yes. And if Wainwright can maybe spend $1,000 or so to kind of fix that out, I think a lot of people would be happy. Maybe just had the guys come around and spray and just get rid of those things. Now, they're not no-see-ums here in Glenn County. They're gnats.
Exactly. It wasn't leave well.
Yeah, for sure. But hopefully Glenn and Brunswick's both going to be good. We're going to have fun calling those games on Golden Isles baseball. It's been fun the last 2 years, and I'm looking forward to it again.
Exactly. And that region that wears in, you got Wayne County and Coffee County. All three of those teams ranked in the top 10, and every poll that you look at. So some really good baseball going to be played in both of those classifications, both of those regions that we're going to be covered. Even though we're not going to cover all their games, they'll be on our broadcast, a lot. So
Wayne and Coffee, they've never been good at baseball.
Yeah,
It's surprising, right?
They're coming around. They're coming around.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be fun to follow along there on 912sports.net this year. But so tune in if you want to catch some good live baseball action there. But Kevin, we'll move on to wrestling. Wrestling was a big thing up in Macon this past weekend. All kind of awards handed out, state champions posted all over the place. We've got a long laundry list, and there's no better place, Kevin, to start with than the 7th time state champion Camden County Wildcats. This is their 7th in a row. They won 8 duals championships in a row. Now this is their 7th in a row individual championships in a row. Only had 3 state titles, only 3 state champions, but they had 4 runners up. So while we're talking about Camden County, we'll just go through those. We've got Riley, I think it's Dahlgren. He's in 7A, 120 pounds. He's a state champion. We've got Colin Weaver, 7A and 145 pound state champion. And then Kamari Johnson, 7A and 170 pound class. He's a state champion. But like I said, Kevin, had 4 runners up. Anthony Yancey at 285, Deontay Dozier at 220, Elijah Griffin at 152, and Porter Bryan at 138. So, gold and silver there because the Olympics are going on. So if you want to look at it as gold and silver, Camden County had 7 of their guys win gold and silver. So just another tremendous job there by Jess Wilder. They are the gold standard in wrestling in South Georgia, really the state of Georgia. I mean, there's nobody that can say that they've won 8 in a row or 7 in a row like the Camden County Wildcats. So congratulations to those guys. They just keep rolling. But drop down into 6A, Kevin. We had in 6A into 113 Jacob Galindez. I hope I said that right. It's Galindes Galindez from South Effingham. He's a state champion. And, of course, in 6A and 182 right there in your neck of the woods, which it was a little red and white against blue and gold there. But Jacob Wakefield from Glen Academy, he won in the 182, and he wrestled Leon Charlton from Brunswick to win that. So the Golden Isles was going to have somebody win a championship, but Wakefield, and I believe, Kevin, correct me if I'm wrong, this is his 2nd state championship back-to-back now.
Yeah, and I know you may have been getting a lot of the results from one of the wrestling websites, but they might have had his name wrong. It is Jackson Wakeland.
Okay, Wakeland.
Yeah, Wakeland, yeah. But he won last year, and he repeated this year. And I tell you what, I'm not sure the actual record between Wakeland and Charlton. I don't know if they met during the regular season or not, if they were actually in those same weight classes when Glenn went against Brunswick. But I believe that Leon Charlton defeated Wakeland in the area traditional wrestling. Not sure if they met in that south sectional that both teams were in. And then they had the dogfight there, both guys making it to the mat there in the finals in Macon. And I know that was exciting for both of those guys. Sean, they were supposed to start wrestling at 6 p.m. Friday, I believe, and it was well after 10 o'clock, maybe closer to 11. I don't know why they got so far behind, but when you're all G'd up and ready to go, it's tough to sit there and wait that long. And obviously that probably impacted both guys. But what a great matchup there and just a great season by both of those guys. I did not get to see Wakeland wrestle this year. I saw him last year. But Leon Charlton is hell on wheels on that wrestling match. And for Wakeland to beat him and Charlton to, have previously beat him, both of those guys had a tremendous season.
Yeah, that's just great competition between those two guys. But congratulations for going, back to back there, and also going back to back, Kevin, at the Ware County Gators girls wrestler in the 162 weight class. Caitlin Mixon, the Lady Gator, goes back to back and wins her 2nd state championship in a row. And I believe, and I'm not 100% sure, but I believe this is just her junior year. I think she won her first year as a sophomore. This is just her junior year, so she's got a possibility to put another one there. But a great job by her. We did have some people that that didn't win, but that definitely are noteworthy. They would have placed gold, silver, or bronze. we'll just run through those. One of the things that I felt like was really worth mentioning, Kevin, in 6A in the 106-pound weight class, which I believe is the bottom of the rung, that's the smallest one. We had a guy finish second, which was Mal Santiago from Effingham, had a guy finish third, Jacob Stelhorn from South Effingham, and had a guy finish fourth, Clayton Hicks from Brunswick High School. So you got three guys all from the same region who finished 2, 3, and 4 in that 106 weight class. So I thought that was pretty cool. Then you mentioned Leon Charlton in 182 weight class there for Brunswick High School, finishing in the runner-up position. Nigel Wright from Effingham finished third in the 185 weight class. And then also Anthony Lowe, who we did as our Coastal Pines Player of the Month last month, 220. He finished third, so he goes home with a bronze medal there from Brunswick High School. So all of those guys, tremendous effort, tremendous seasons. Listen, man, when you can say you're in the top 3 of the whole state, that's pretty strong. And then when you get the teams, we already talked about Camden County being victorious, winning that title. Nobody else won a title, but we had a couple of top 5 programs. Charlton finished, I believe it was 5th or 4th. No, 5th. Charlton finished 5th. Brunswick finished 4th, and then of course Camden was your champion there. So a lot of great wrestling going on all over here in the 912, Kevin. And these guys and girls deserve a tip of the cap here from 912 Sports. Great job by everybody.
Yeah, and wrestling may be one of those sports where South Georgia may have been behind for years, but I know in the last 4 or 5, we've certainly caught fire and have caught on and can battle those guys from the Atlanta area. Of course, in 6A, Buford is loaded. We all know that. And, in 7A, Camden County is the benchmark for wrestling around the state of Georgia. And actually, Buford and Camden may as well go ahead and say it. They might be already counting down to their showdown next year in 7A. And that's going to be a battle and a half. And, I don't know. I heard a rumor that they had a statue out in front of Camden County High School of Coach Heron, and they're thinking about replacing that with one of Coach Wilder. I have to see if we can confirm that, but no, maybe they'll put those guys side by side. But obviously, Camden has won a lot of football titles, and the Camden County Wrestling has really won their fair share for sure. But Brunswick's really coming on in Class 6A. They thought they might have an outside shot to win the whole thing in duels and traditional wrestling, but obviously Almighty Buford is there. But Brunswick finished 3rd in the duels and 4th in the state in traditionals, and they've got some good individuals. And that Anthony Lowe kid, I think he was in a tough bracket, but watch out for him, Sean, because he's young and just getting started as well. I won't be surprised if he wins either 1 or 2 state championships before he gets out of high school. But yeah, just great to see 912 guys all over those top spots in the classifications we had people competing in. And the girl from Ware, kudos to her. It's hard to win 1 state championship, much less 2, and it's going to be a tremendous accomplishment if she can win her 3rd.
Yeah, we'll see if she can go for the old 3-peat. So congratulations to Caitlin Mixon and everybody there for the wrestling here in the 912 area code. Kevin, bring us up to basketball. There's a lot of stuff that's kind of up in the air right now. A lot of regular seasons are complete. A lot of region tournaments are getting going. But tell us what you know at this point, and then we'll go from there.
Well, I like to refer to the high school postseason as Fabulous February, kind of like playing off the March Madness for college. But the high school season will run into March a little bit, too, before they actually crown state champions, depending on how the calendar falls. And this year it will fall that way where it does go into March. And you might remember, Sean, back in 2020, I believe the basketball state tournament was the weekend before COVID hit the following weekend, which, again, I know things. I've got that date memorized for a couple of different reasons. Certainly one being high school sports, but I think that was March the 13th when everybody had to come off the playing fields, and the week before is when they had the state championships, and we're kind of looking about a similar calendar here this year. But I think in 7A, that they're going to be cranking it up this week. 6A is doing that, right now as we speak, of course, and then 5A is already finished. In the girls' side, it looks like Warner Robins beat Ware County in a nip and tuck ball game, 54-53. So Warner Robins, the girls, are the region champions. Ware County settles for the 2nd spot, and then Wayne was 3rd, and Coffee was 4th. So good 912 representation of course, in that league. And then in the boys side of that league, veterans, I think maybe with a mild upset over Warner Robins. Veterans had 16 wins. I think Warner Robins had 18. The veterans finishes 1, Warner Robins finishes 2, and then Wayne County beat Coffee to finish third and make Coffee settle for the 4th spot. Now, classes 4, 3, and 2A, which we cover, the teams we cover in those classifications are going to be getting into their region tournaments this week as well. So we'll see how all that goes and maybe have some updates on that next week. But I tell you what, in 1A, we're going to have some good battles tomorrow night, and it's going to be backyard brawls between Clinch and Charlton in the boys and the girls. So the Clinch and Charlton boys will play, and so will the Clinch and Charlton girls. And we all know that the Clinch girls have been kind of the queens of that region for a long time, but it sounds like this Charlton team is really good. And the last time they played, I believe Charlton did win 59-53 over Clinch. So we'll see if they can get it done tomorrow night. And then in the boys, it's going to be Charlton against Clinch. And I tell you what, I found out more and more about this Charlton team here in recent days, but they are young, Sean. 2 freshmen, one 6'8", one 6'1", the Jarvis Wright kid who is our February player of the month. They've also got a good-looking sophomore, I believe, and another junior. So I don't know what's left in store for Charlton County this year, but they're going to be a team in this area code to watch over the course of the next couple of years. But speaking of one of those freshmen, they're 6'8", big. I think is Elias is his name, and I'm drawing a blank on his last name automatically. But he scored 30 points, had 23 rebounds, and 7 blocks the other night in their semifinal game. And I was so caught up on trying to pronounce his first name, but I think it is Elias. And let me go back and get Elias Williams. 6'8", 30 points, 23 rebounds, and 7 blocks. A freshman.
Have yourself a night, kid.
In a region semifinal. We talked about stuffing the stat sheet early. That's called stuffing the stat sheet.
Yeah, and when you got Jarvis Wright leading the state in 3-pointers, you got the King kid who's looking getting offers as a D1 quarterback all over the country, and then you've got the other young sophomore that they've got. I mean, they've got some kids that can play. This is going to be a team to watch. No wonder Coach Bailey's so excited about being down there and being the Charlton County Indians coach. He's got some talent coming down the pipe, so it'll be interesting to follow those kids here over the next couple of years.
Yeah, and I think this is either Coach Bailey's. He came from Glenn and he played at Glenn, and I think this is either his 2nd or 3rd season with Charlton County. But probably when he went down there and interviewed for that job and found out what was coming through the chute, I'm sure once he got the chance, he was like, "Sign me up."
Yes, sir. Where that paper at?
Yeah, and I think the Williams kid, by the way, you mentioned King at quarterback. Coach Bailey was telling me the Williams kid, 6'8", plays defensive end on that Charlton County football team, and he's already getting Power 5 looks for football. So I tell you what, these college basketball teams and these college football teams at the Power 5 level, they like to get you and keep you under control. But here's a kid who might have a choice between football and basketball, and maybe somebody will let him play both. We'll see.
Exactly. Hey, when you 6'8" and scoring 30 points a night, that's gonna get some attention. That's for sure.
That's for sure.
Well, there's more to come on basketball right after these words from our sponsors. You're watching On Air with 912 Sports.
At Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, you don't have to be an athlete to get the region's best orthopedic care. Our board-certified orthopedic surgeons and physicians treat injuries and conditions that affect just about any joint or bone in your body. Plus, we're backed by the support of Southeast Georgia Health System. From fracture repair to joint replacement, Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery will get you moving again. Call 1-855-ASK-SGHS. That's 1-855-275-7447 or visit sghs.org/summit.
Hello, everybody. I'm Kevin Price for On Air with 912 Sports and also Golden Isles Basketball. The Region 2 6A Girls Tournament has just finished up here at Brunswick Square Garden on the campus of Brunswick High School, and it was a big win by the Lady Pirates tonight. They rolled 69-26 over Bradwell Institute in a matchup between the top-seeded Lady Pirates and the second-seeded Bradwell Institute Lady Tigers. Bradwell, the only team to beat Brunswick this year, they won 59-54 in late January when they played in Hinesville. Brunswick rolled big over the Lady Tigers here when they met for the first time this season in early January, and Brunswick wins a big one again here tonight, 69-26, just taking it to the Lady Tigers from the opening tip. They led this game by 20 or more points early in the first half and had a 30-point lead early in the first half as well. Brunswick goes on to win this ball game again, 69-26. Junior forward Shemai Flanders led all players on the floor with 22 points. The Lady Pirates now 25-1 on the season. They'll go to the Class 6A state tournament as the number one team out of Region 2 6A. Bradwell will be the number 2 seed. Will be at home in the opening round of the state tournament. They are now 20-5 after the big loss here to the Lady Pirates. Statesboro won the consolation game, a close game over Glen Academy. So Statesboro, the 3 seed from the region, will go into the state tournament as the 3 seed. Glen Academy, the number 4 seed coming into the region tournament, will go to the state tournament as the number 4 seed as well. Now in the boys region action tomorrow night, the championship and consolation games will be played in Statesboro. It will be the host Statesboro Blue Devils, the regular season champion in Region 2 6A, taking on Effingham, the number 2 seed. That game will start at 7:30 tonight in Statesboro. In the consolation game, it will be Glen Academy against Bradwell Institute. Those two teams will play for 3 and 4 to see who goes on the road in the opening round of the state tournament. Region 2 6A in girls and boys will square off with the Region 4 6A in the state tournament. So we'll have all the matchups and all the game times for you once all the region tournaments are complete this weekend. So stay tuned to our social media, whether that's Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, and also stay tuned to our website. And of course, we'll follow the Golden Isles teams, the 2 Glen teams, and Brunswick High throughout the state tournament here with Golden Isles basketball. We'll talk about all the 912 area teams going to the state tournament on our Thursday night show next week on Air with 912 Sports. So again, I'm Kevin Price reporting for Golden Isles basketball and 912 Sports from Brunswick Square Garden, where the Lady Pirates have won the region championship.
This has been a presentation of 912 Sports.